1 second. Hold on, sorry. Pew. One of my little notes is Nick Cannon question mark. All right, so like I said before, sit down. Just you good? All right. So yeah, there's this old play, Lysistrata. Uh, they start a. It's like an old Greek play. There's a lot of war happening, and yeah, I don't want to re-explain it like you just did. Um, Spike Lee adapts a Greek play, used in Chicago, and a lot of stuff happens, and um, let's just get into it. You know, you know. I had to make a pros and cons list with this one. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I guess are you? We're not saying if we liked or disliked it yet, are we? See, Spike Lee's a funny guy. He's a funny guy because this movie has like there is clearly a lot of effort, and like some of his best use of style I've seen. Like there is parts where I'm like, wow, that was awesome. The part where the crowd is chanting and Samuel Jackson's dancing, and then the crowd freezes and he does a little monologue. That was awesome. You can't tell me it wasn't. Um, but you know, I'll say this. I feel like every time I have like quote unquote issues with one of his movies, they're always kind of the same ones, and it's usually like the approach to crime, approach of like, and not that I don't know, but his approach to crime and his like approach to like obviously like women, and then his approach to like uh the police, and uh yeah, Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro. I could tell. I could, that does surprise me. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right. I remember that. Yeah. here's you know what? So here's what I think with that, because I didn't really look into the backlash, but I just knew there was. You know what I mean? You could just feel it. And I'll say this. First thing I'll say is like I thought I was gonna hate it more than I did, and I don't even say I hated it. I thought I did. I was like impressed by a lot of things. I like the rhyming, like even though it's like kind of silly at times. This little spoken wordy like rap battle shit. It's still it's still an interesting choice, and I like that he committed to it. And like, it didn't kill the movie for me. Like, I was engaged. And like, I'll say this too. Like, I won't even. I don't know if for me if it's his best movie, but like one of his best expression, like it, or how do I say this? One of his best like displays of style ever. Like it is, and it's just like it's very fun to watch. It's very fun to hear. It's just and even stuff like just like this is an emergency. This is an emergency. Like that stuff's fun. Um, I understand because it's and I don't want to say like accuse anyone of like anything, but I understand why like people from there, especially if they're not with the whole like theater stuff, are like this is kind of making us. This is like this ain't. This is no, like this is the theatrics are almost they are kind of silly to an extent, and like we accept that because we know they're being hammy and stuff. But I would also understand that they want a more authentic Chicago story, especially the way he authentically has done New York and Brooklyn. I'll get into that in a second. And but like you know, uh, what's it called? Like the club scene, like the first scene, it was fun. That was not an authentic Chicago club or concert. I feel like, and just even like the way like all the girls are dancing, it's just like that's not what they do. And I think, sorry, I think the way that could have been fixed if you just and maybe this would have been bad also. As I'm saying, I'm thinking out loud, but don't pick Chicago. Like make up a city. Make a that like kind of has elements that like a lot of because they mentioned Philadelphia and Atlanta and stuff and Baltimore and so like do like that so then it's like you can still not have to make a caricature of it like it's just a lot of different like diasporic stuff but yeah. Oh, put the put the guns down, he said to the cops. Yeah, that's the kind of the other thing. It's like that. Uh, the gang. I mean, I will say, I understand it's trying to be accurate to the play, but the gang names are corny. Dudes would not be out here calling themselves the Spartans. They'd be out. They definitely not calling themselves the Trim. So also, also, sorry. Hmm. I also specifically, so he's got all those montages of people doing the strikes all over, and it just so happens that Brooklyn, where Spike is from, all knows to put the he had, they're all everybody, the men and the women are like put the guns down, like Brooklyn's got it. You know what I mean? I could understand Chicago people from Chicago being like, oh, all right, you know what I mean? Also, well, I can't not say this. The opening, right? So I didn't like the weird Spotify lyric video at the beginning, but that's fine. It did. If it was like if If it was like 16 bars, that would have been fine. But it went on for a whole song, and but but like but like they show like the Iraq and Afghan worst like death toll, and it's like, well, the number's looking a little low if you don't count the civilian lives, sir. Exact. Yeah. Yeah. I I'm not. I don't, yeah. Sorry. I also think like um, what was it? There was something. There was something. There was something about like the backlash or like why they weren't. And I have it in my thing, but like I don't think it's bad that like he wants to make a movie about Chicago. Even like that's not wrong. Um, it's just I kind of lost it. I'm sorry. I'll go back to it. And yeah, had Vic Mensa at the beginning and stuff. I remember being like seeing the trailer at the time and being like, "Oh shit!" It was before he was on the Netflix train, and I was like, "Oh, yo, Dave Chappelle, what the heck?" Mm-hmm. I definitely think it's better than some I've seen. Where I'm like, "Oof, not a good one." But I will say like, there's. I mean, I won't even say not a good one. What I'll say is like, when I don't like some of his stuff, it's just because it's like I have had this acceptance that like people who are like true artists, quote unquote, like will make bad things because they're making a lot of art. You know what I mean? And it's like they're not they kind of aren't concerned with that. They're concerned with just like saying what they want to say in a certain capacity, and they do. Um, but uh, mhm, mhm. It's good to have a coat. It's good to have some. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it was not a Spike Lee movie at first. It was right. Oh, that is the new one that has come out. It came out last year. There's it. Yeah. So I remember what I was gonna say with the other like why it may not be well received in Chicago, right? The message it's trying to say and how it conveys its message, right? The people who need to hear that, truly, it's like it. I feel like it's not. It's they're not gonna hear it with that presentation of what's going on. Like that is like I understand why they would want more of like a even something more like a John Singleton type of film because at least like gave him some sort of catharsis. You know what I mean? Um, Yeah, and it, and like again, like the dudes involved in the shootings are not gonna see this movie and go, "Damn, man, we gotta stop." You know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna be moved by some art, it's gotta like really appeal to like why the hell they're even doing this. Not saying that like there's excuses for murdering, children getting shot. There's never an excuse for that. I don't care what's going on, but like it doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It's just like something going on within the community, whatever that like, and they talk about it. They talk about the need for jobs and things like that. But I could understand like them wanting to see, not them wanting to, but like it'd be more, it would be more. I don't want to. This is going to be a weird word, but just the spirit of this word. It'll be more marketable to them because, or applicable to them because it relates to what it sees them as human beings and not just like the shooters. Like, I mean, I'll say it gives them credit. Like, I'll actually give it credit. Like, showing like people who have like survived stuff like that and really being like, yeah, like really bad stuff happens to you when you get shot. Like really getting to that. I think that is good. I think that is to like lay that out. Like that stuff would resonate. I think with someone who's thinking about getting into that. You know what I mean? Like that would be like, damn, I'm not trying to have that for what? You know what I mean? I see what you're saying, and I'm like, I'm still a little, I don't want to be so like decisive on it, but like, I did feel. Hold on, garbage or snow truck flying by. All right, I did feel, effective is. I think effective is the word. Effective in the right way. I don't know, because right, like and I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but like I'll say this. It's really effective for like someone who really appreciates like art and cinema. Like I think that is 100% true. And like it's kind of like you kind of it feels, what is the word? Not niche, but kind of like, and like I do, as someone who likes art, I do appreciate that the risks they took with the the rhyming and all that. But again, it's like, is it effective? Who's if the people who needs to hear it needs to hear this? If you're and it's because you're being like, listen to me, wake up. I'm fine with trying to do that, but understanding like authenticity means a lot to like a people, especially like when you're first representing them in a true way. And like again, that's why like those West Coast hood movies work. I feel like even something like Friday is so authentic. You know what I mean? It's goofy. Yeah, it's goofy and cartoony, but like everybody's like, "Oh, I know somebody like that." You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing. And same thing with Do the Right Thing. It's kind of very, very. It's cartoony still. It's very stylized, but it's very authentic to what he's got going on. Atlanta even is very hyper surrealist, but it's also authentic to the area and its style. So I think that is why people probably misread that, and I think it's trying to do the right thing. It does want to do the right thing. It is taking its own weird authority in what is and what specifically like women should do or something. You know what I mean? And like, and that's not to discredit any of like the women's performances either. Like the main actress who plays Lysistrata, I forget her name. Yes, she's in like a ton of stuff. She's in that Candyman movie even. Is she from Chicago? Cut this if she's not. She's in the Marvels. Okay, country girl. But she's awesome in everything she's in. She's awesome. She's awesome. She's awesome. She's awesome. I need to watch the Marvels. Um, um, Dave Chappelle was good. She was in Dave Coleman. Like, oh, is she like opening cast? Oh wow, is that the one that like sings "Work" at the beginning? Wow. It is. Mm-hmm. Well, sorry, not to cut you. I'm so sorry, but I think yes, that is. It's like a. It's I'll say this. I feel like that story can be told in a way that's not demeaning or talking down to anybody, but it would obviously have to be a woman telling it. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And like, yes, absolutely. How bad would yeah. I I actually think that element of it is like a good way to entice people, like making and not even like musical, but leaning into like a music video movie. You know what I mean? Or even like Belly or something. That is true. The intro is kind of the coolest part. You're right. You know what? Also, and also give these other flowers too. Like this, I will. We can still talk about the women. Sorry. Let me stop. Let me stop Spike Leeing real quick. Okay, cool. All right. I was making sure we weren't jumping off of anything. Um, cut that. um, music's cool. Uh, I'm just putting out my pros here because I've been saying a lot of mean things. Not mean, critical. Uh, interesting use of adaptation reminds me of "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" That reminds me of that. Uh, I do like because I was thinking like, didn't Liberia do this? And then they did bring it up. They brought up like the Liberian like protest that the women led, and it was mostly successful. Um, so I like, yeah. Oh wait, there's a pretty like I mean, okay, I both liked and disliked this. The white black pastor, John Cusack. When he had a gun in his hand, I said, "What is happening?" That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's awesome. Yeah. You know what this is. That. I like. I like that they say, and you said it earlier, like that they mentioned that like they get guns from the red states, and just like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sick. It does, and I'll say in a weird way, it does remind me of Do the Right Thing a lot. And the times it reminded, and it sometimes it was really fun. I'm not gonna lie to you, like the visuals are incredible. I can't even you can't deny it. Mm-hmm. Right. This movie came out in 2015, and you can tell it was made during the Obama era. I'll say that. Yeah. I will say too, like I said, I was kind of like apprehensive about watching it. I was like, oh jeez, and then like I was smiling a lot. You feel me? Mm-hmm. That happened to me. I'll tell you what. Sorry. I think we should have more. I don't mind adaptation. I don't know why everybody's mad at adaptation. They're mad at like cinematic universes, not adaptation. We all like adaptation. Adaptation's fun. It's been copy paste for years. I have nothing. uh, Watch the podcast. You know what? Check this movie out. It'll surprise you. It's a just know that it's a little something. You know what I mean? It's a little funky. And you know what? If you just accept for what it is, it's a good time. All the performances are great. All the performances are great. Mm-hmm. I will just say, and we don't have to keep this in, but that one part where he's staring at her, I thought he was doing great until that shot. Until that shot where he's like, I thought he was wearing thin a little bit. But that's no diss to Nick Cannon. I actually think he did a pretty good job. I mean, he grew up being an actor. He's a And to be honest, there's plenty of actors, white actors, that are just as weird as Nick Cannon. We just know more about Nick Cannon. Al Pacino, low key, is Nick Cannon. Cause you crazy. They ain't grow up normal. They grew up. You know what? Pray for him. Bow. Good night.